Voltmeter time. Now, I've talked about this before, because I've done all the rewiring now in said battery area, all nice and neat. Excuse my charger cable, just move that out of the way a minute. Okay, yeah, obviously everything's looking nice and tiggly-boo there. That's the old positive and negative where the old rectifier went into the wiring loom. So you can see here that I've if I haven't showed you, I'm going to show you again. Got me USB cable, God, spit your words out, plugged into it, and obviously the charger cable as well, all nicely down there. So anyway, I digress. But because that's actually kicking out a little bit more power now, just want to make sure I don't have any future problems, or if I do, I can flag it up quicker with said voltmeter. Now I know what it should be running at when it's you know, charging, basically, when you because it was just over 14. Obviously the quicker the engine goes, the more power it generates going back into the battery. So that's the idea of it, just to keep a visual check. Now got to wire it up to, there's only about 30 centimeters of cable there. You can see the red and black wire. Now I want to get it situated somewhere around near the clocks, or perhaps down on the stem there. I'm not too sure yet. But anyway, less waffle, more action. Better get it tested just to make sure it actually works, because cheapy Chinese crappy. Okay, see you in a bit. So I've just got to find somewhere to mount it without disfiguring the bike somewhere. Probably going to put it on the mount here somehow. Anyway, I'll figure it out, but I don't really want to be drilling holes unnecessary, but we'll see how it goes. I don't want it on a permanent live. Okay, so looking at videos on YouTube, and I think people have, you know, just gone into the ignition wire. So again, like I said before, it's one of those things never done before, but bloody hell, how hard can it be? Just don't do things too tired, and just be sure what you're doing. So it's just a case of locating, going into the wiring loom and locating the right wires from the ignition, which is pretty simple really. Voila, that's where we're looking at. Let's get rid of this line now. Okay, so what I've done, I bought some of these like connectors. They kind of piggyback the wire. Okay, so you can see how that's finished off there. Just got some 5 amp wire from Halfords, some red and black, just to keep it simple, positive and neutral. Okay, so what I've had to do is that yellow wire, what I've cut into, I'll explain that in a minute, but I've just spliced the wire a little bit, and it's pretty self-explanatory when you look at these clips as well, and fed that wire into it. And it's got like a little metal bracket which goes over and clips the red wire there, which is just obviously piggybacking off it. Basically just keeps it all nice and neat as well. Okay, so that's the yellow wire which I'm going on. Now that's a switched live, so obviously that's only live when the ignition is on. So I'm not taking, basically I don't want that on all the time, because it'll just, although it has got an on off button, but you may well forget, sort of thing. So which is these couple of buttons here, that kind of like a reset button now on the right hand side actually turns it off. It may well turn off after a while anyway as a fail-safe, but as it stands, you can go back in here. The yellow wire there is the switch live, and the white wire next to it is it's a permanent live. So just had to test that just to find out what's what. Now the way of testing is using a handy little circuit tester. So there we go, that's just got a light in it, and when you find a live it lights up. Now this is obviously, you see these, you can use them in the household mains. You know, you just find you know, if the socket's live and one thing or another around your house. This is just got this clip here, the ground, it basically plugs in the top here, and it's got a little crocodile clip on here which I'll just take off a minute because I've got all my makeshift wires. It's all very messy in a minute. Now, I know I've got my neutral wire ground to this because I know that is a ground. You know, it's been grounded out because that's where I test my spark plugs actually, just make sure they're sparking. But we'll just for the sake of this. So the crocodile clip is on that to show that it's ground out. Then I'll just do a demonstration. Right, so you can see there, I've got the pen in that the white spade connector going into the clip there. So okay, so that is, as you can see, the ignition's off. Okay, so the ignition's on. You know, that's still on. So if I'd wired it into that, you know, I'm potentially just you know, gonna drain the battery. Okay, so there is a bit of a missing video here, so I've just gone through the archives, can't really find it, so I'm just going to explain what we're doing here. Obviously this is in black and white now because this is unimportant really. This is a 20-minute video. I'm speeded up because it's so boring really, and I didn't really want I can't make the video that long for you anyway. So the last test with the well, the little electrical tester was into the white wire, which is a permanent live. So I went into the yellow as it stands, which is obviously just the ignition live anyway. So that's where we left it at that point. The rest of this now is just me taking it back off and just splicing and getting all the wiring done properly, you know, so it's nice and watertight and everything like, and just nice and neat around the handlebars and one thing and another like. So it's literally just me putting heat shrink tape up, but you can see me there just measuring up and just shuffling it along the wires, and then just getting the heat gun on it eventually and just shrinking the wires up and everything, like I say, just to make it nice and neat. Table God blimey, can't even speak. Cable tying it around certain parts of the bike. Yeah, that's it basically. Like, so I don't really want to sort of go on any more about it, but this is the finished part of it now. We'll probably blend out the video. So yeah, it was all good, it all worked and everything, so fine, brilliant. Okay, right, well, enjoy, hope you stuck with it. Cheers. Now, okay, right, so that's where I've got it at the minute. Now, it's not fixed in permanent. I've just bought some Velcro, double-sided Velcro, and I've stuck a bit on the bottom of the bracket and onto the frame mount there as well. Okay, so it's not perfect. It'll hold it there for the time being. That's kind of where I want it to go, around near there. I don't want it burning in my face when I'm driving along, but if I just peer my head over and I can see it. Okay, so as you can see, probably from this side, that's probably a better view of what it's going to look like. Now there is a hole in that bracket. I was thinking of drilling a hole into the mount there and you know, putting a nice little bolt in there, keeping it. I may well still do that, but I didn't really want to sort of interfere with the mount, because obviously that's going to be there permanently. However, if you do put a hole in there, you can get a nice little handy rubber bung or something just to cover it up, and nobody will know any different. As long as you do it nicely, that'll be okay. That well may be the case, but as we're looking in here now, you can see that's the wire, quite a bit of it, but I'm gonna tie it in with the rest of the loom, a few little clips here and there, just so there's plenty of room. Probably didn't need all that wire, but it's a case of like, will that stay there or will it go somewhere else? So I need that wire extension to go elsewhere. But as you can see in there as well, that's the old red wire there in the middle of the screen going into the existing loom, and the black wire, which I said I was going to show you, it comes through here attached to another part of the wire. Well, actually, what is that? Don't even know what cable. Oh, they're the throttle cables actually, plus my USB cable. So the negative is just attached to that, coming through the frame, and that's the connection what I've made. just to try to do it nice and neat underneath there. Like I said before, that's a ground earth in there, so I've just put a nice ring connector on there, and same as before, got my heat shrink tubes just to keep it all nice and clean, and keeping the wet out basically should I say, if there is any up there, but obviously you can see the dust and crap in here, what gets underneath anyway. But so that's that really. So hopefully that won't interfere with the when the airbox goes on. But let me get all the clips sorted, and we'll show you the finished product, and hopefully it's working. As long as I melt through all the wires, we'll be alright.